Hey guys, come along with me. I'm going to take you out on a boat ride, go back in the canal, show you some homes, the way people live down here in the Keys. This is going to be a fun ride. Come along with me. Hey guys, it's Mark with Gables on the Go. I wanted to bring you along today because I'm starting a new service here with my charter business in the Keys, and I'm going to try some real estate tours. When you're driving in on the streets in the Keys, a lot of the times the houses just really don't look that great. A lot of them look really tiny. Most of them were built in the 60s, 70s, 80s. You'll see a little bitty cinder block house. I mean, it looks like nothing. It looks like it's, 1,000 square feet cinder block house from the roadside. But if you go in the canal right around the backside of that house, it's liable to have the most gorgeous outdoor space in the back. Tiki huts and pools and bars and all kind of cool stuff. Nice docks and boats. The reason for that is the living down here in the Keys is on the water. It's just not something you do on land down here in the Keys. The best of everything is on the water down here. The houses on canals like this can range in price anywhere from $350,000 to $1.5 million, $2 million. And the weird thing down here in the Keys is that you can find a $500,000 house 20 feet from it is a $1.5 million house. They're all different, they're all mixed together. And it just depends on how large the house is and what kind of amenities it has, and basically how nice it is, how new it is. I'd love to say there's still some affordable houses in the Keys. Affordable, I guess, is relevant. But everything down here, generally starts no less, most of the time, on the water for, $350,000 is probably as low as I've seen in a while. Still a lot of homes down here in the Keys that are still destroyed from Hurricane Irma over 2 years ago. And the deal with that is a lot of these homes that are built ground level, that are not up on stilts or elevated and you have to walk up to them, the ones that are down on ground level typically can be had for a lot less money. But the problem with that is most of these houses are below floodplain. So getting insurance on these houses is tough, it's expensive, and a lot of the single level homes, although those are the ones that I prefer, they're tough to get insured, and you're going to spend probably as much per month in insurance as you would on your mortgage. The houses like this one behind me, if y'all can see that one, it's up on stilts. Y'all see that one behind me there? Houses like that, the insurance is a lot better, a lot cheaper on that, because the lower part of the house, even if there is a hurricane and the water's high, it floods underneath the house, but it doesn't damage the house. So the insurance is a lot lower for that type of thing. I'm not even sure if you have to have flood insurance if you're so high above the floodplain. But a lot of these houses, like this one over here, so that's an example of a ground level house you probably could get into for a lot less money than most around here. Still a nice place, still in a beautiful neighborhood on a beautiful canal, but you probably can get into that a lot cheaper, and your insurance, unfortunately, is going to be astronomical on that kind of place. Finding long-term rentals here in the Keys is pretty scarce as well. Most of these houses get rented what they call vacation rentals, which are a week to up to 28 days. Anything over 28 days is considered a long-term rental. Kind of falls under a different category of rules here in the Keys, or in Marathon specifically. Rent is not cheap. Probably the smallest place you're going to find for rent here in the Keys. And I'm talking a cracker box. I'm talking a little bitty tiny, you know, one room with a place for a kitchenette and a bed, and that type place. It's still going to cost you probably $1,500 a month minimum. From there, it just goes up. A 2-bedroom, 2-bath on a canal in a neighborhood like this, long-term renting, you're looking at $3,000, $4,000 a month easily. And that's on a long-term rent. That's generally requiring a year lease. So renting down here can get very expensive. So I had the idea that I would set up some of these tours, taking people out, looking at houses. I've got a couple of iPads on the boat, got the Zillow app downloaded on it, and as we ride along, the GPS will follow right where we are, and you can see the houses as we go by them. You can see how much they sold for, you can see if they're for sale, how much the price is. You can click on the listing, see the house, and for that matter, we can even call a real estate agent from the water if there's a possibility of possibly showing the house. I'm getting dive bombed by pelicans. So it's really neat. You can get a lot of insight as to how much it costs to live down here in terms of buying a home. A lot of the rental listings are listed on Zillow as well. You can see the places from rent and or for rent. You know, so it's really an informational thing, and I think it might be a really fun tour for people. It's going to be relatively inexpensive. I don't have to burn a lot of fuel doing this. You know, it's just time that we're burning, and there's not any gear required. So these trips can be very affordable. If you look at rates on getting a captain here in the Keys, going out on a fishing trip or any other kind of trip, sometimes that stuff can get pretty expensive. But these trips I think I can do pretty economically, where you can just get out on the water for 2 or 3, 4 hours if you want to, have a nice time. Maybe we'll hit a sandbar, or I'll take you by a couple of things that everybody wants to see by water down here. Just kind of play it by ear and do whatever everybody wants to do. Well, I hope you enjoyed our homes tour today. I'd love for you to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. Check us out on Facebook too. Mark Gable on Facebook, and also Gable Charters on Facebook. You can see us there. Anyway, hope you had a good time with the video today. We'll see you next time.